first movie I've watched where Brie Larson isn't insufferable.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
Hello guys, welcome back to Review Rant. Today, we're going to be doing episode 2 of our MonsterVerse series, Kong, Skull Island. Let's begin. So hello guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about Kong, and I'm just get off the bat and say I really enjoy this movie. A lot more than Godzilla 2014. Again, there's nothing wrong with Godzilla 2014, but this movie adds so much more. Not only with having such a good cast, we have Tom Hiddleston, Samuel L. Jackson, Brie Larson, and John Goodman, as well as some others who do a fantastic job in the role. This movie is really good. Has a really good star cast, and has way more action than the previous movies, and you have to commend it for that. I mean, Kong, unlike Godzilla in 2014, is front and center. He is going around destroying these helicopters and doing all this stuff, blowing things up. He's really dope, you know? And I think it's so cool because he's just going around destroying this place. And I like how, again, I like the whole military aspect too, because, you know, this is after, this is like Vietnam. And I like how this is also, you know, they want to get back home, you know? That's what it is. And Samuel L. Jackson's character, spoilers, Packard, I believe his name was, is just like he's on revenge because, you know, they go into King Kong's, you know, place. Well, they don't really call him King Kong, so I guess it's just Kong, even though he's King Kong. Still, they go into Skull Island. You have Bill Randa's character. He's in there. Hard to think that, you know, in the past he was, you know, doing all that stuff in Monarch Legacy of Monsters. Enough of that show. Ooh, that's long gone. He does such a good job in this character, in this role though. John Goodman, the better Bill Randa character. It does suck he does die. He gets eaten by a skullcrawler. On the topic of people getting eaten, oh my god, is this movie just brutal? Like it's very brutal to its characters. You have characters getting picked off planes and ripped off and ripped in half, and characters getting swallowed and eaten and blown up, and we also have characters, you know, rounding the corner or looking behind them and they get eaten. It's really crazy. I mean, you even have a giant spider creature stab right through a guy's throat. I mean, this movie's pretty brutal, and I think that's really cool. And on the island, of course, we also have, you know, Kong going around, you know, like, you know, minding his own business. I like how he's actually portrayed as, like, an intelligent creature. By no means is this movie a Peter Jackson King Kong movie, because that movie was, you know, a very good movie. This is its own thing. You know, obviously this is the reboot of King Kong, and I like the way they do it, too. I also like the way he's, like, I think around, like, 100 or so feet tall, you know, as tall as a building and stuff, and he has room to grow, you know, to later fight Godzilla, which Godzilla does get a cameo, if you could say that, in the post-credit scene, which I thought was very cool, how Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson's character are, like, in the Monarch room, you know, and Monarch was actually, you know, kind of cool, and then they show, like, this Godzilla stuff, and they're also leading into the next movie, which I will be reviewing in episode 3, which will be Godzilla King of the Monsters, which I am kind of excited about that movie. I'm kind of excited for it. I don't know if you guys are. But I also like how King Kong has time to grow, and also just what he does in this movie is kind of cool. Again, speaking on, you know, Godzilla, he's not much shown in his movie. You know, very, you see him at night and very briefly, but in this, you see King Kong going around fighting these skull crawlers, protecting the creatures there and stuff. Like he picks up this helicopter off this like animal looking thing. I don't know what to compare it to. I kind of forgot, but I think it's really cool how he's protecting the place, or he's protecting the island that he's on. You know, it's like he's actually the king there. He feels really, you know, intimidating, especially when you have almost like what they call in the same movie, in this movie, is that they are going into his territory. Yeah, they're doing it for research, as Bill Randa says, and, you know, they're going around throwing the bombs out, which they're more like, you know, leading something out, and what they're actually leading out is not King Kong, they're leading out the skull crawlers, which is a very cool thing. And skull crawlers, they're very frightening in this. I like their design. It's so creepy, you know. It's like we've gone a long way from Peter Jackson's T-Rexes to these like weird looking creature things that run really fast, very durable, and just creepy. It does not matter to King Kong, by the way, because he just goes around ripping their tongues out and crushing their faces. He has no chill in this movie. Also, when watching the movie, I also noticed something that's really cool, and I thought that, you know, you guys could think was, you know, cool as well. If you remember the beginning of the movie when all the helicopters were coming in and King Kong's destroying King Kong. Kong is like destroying all of them and stuff. He clenches his fist, and I like how he does that because at the end, or semi at the end of the movie, where Samuel Jackson has like this hatred for Kong for killing his men, which it's like you can get behind Samuel Jackson's character, but some of the stuff that he does is kind of unexcusable. He's really just a douchebag who went into Kong's land. Now, yes, he did kill his men, but he shouldn't have just went in there and provoked something. It's like poking a bear and then getting mad when the bear reacts. I don't get that with Samuel Jackson's character. He gets very angry. But what he does at the end of the movie, when, you know, he basically burns King Kong, he's like lying there, and he also clenches his fist. You know, I thought that was a nice parallel between the two. Eventually, Kong just smashes him, just like crushes him, kills him. Kong kills a lot of creatures in this movie, from the skull crawlers and that octopus-looking thing, the squid thing, to people. Boy was kind of a menace in this movie, and I loved it. Also loved how we saw, I believe it was Kong's parents, I guess. Those giant skull things. That was really cool. A lot about this movie was really fun and way more enjoyable. Because you had a lot more characters to gravitate towards. It was really cool and just like entertaining all around. I thought that was quite cool. How you have all these characters, and they're kind of rich in a way. No, they're not, you know, depth characters. Yes, they have families and stuff that they want to get home to. You know, your kind of stereotypical thing. You know, they all have families and they have to leave for the war and they're coming back. Now, I like that part, and I like a lot what they do. I like a lot of it. And on the topic of the characters, the characters did such a good job. Like, there's so many of them to, as I said, to gravitate towards, that it's quite fascinating. And each character has their own little moment to shine. In my opinion, I think they all shine. I still don't know, what was the one guy's name? I forgot his name. I'll show a picture of him right here. He does this weird sacrifice, quote-unquote, where he's gonna kill the giant, you know, skull crawler that came out because Samuel Jackson's character got mad and blew everything up, and then he rose out of the water. He's gonna, like, blow himself up with it, and then he does that, except the creature just flicks him and he blows up. It felt kind of pointless for that. I didn't know the whole reason for that. But besides like some goofy stuff in this movie, because there was some dumb stuff in the movie. For one, the name of the scroll caller. No, not the actual name of it, but the characters talking about how he thought it was a funny name for the skull crawler.
Please won't speak their name, but I call them skull crawlers. Why? Because it sounds neat.
Okay.
Look, I just made that name up. I'm trying to scare you.
I'm fine calling them that. Are you cool with it?
Yeah, that seems like
I
that
like
seems
the
like
name,
a
so
great
I
name.
think
I
you.
never said that name out loud before. It sounds stupid now that I say. Just you call them whatever you want.
I was like, that's not really funny. It's kind of dumb. And some other things, that don't make much sense, I guess, are things that they don't take me out of the movie, but it's nothing that I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll let it's weird, just weird lines and stuff, and also weird actions that the characters take. I don't know, stuff like that. But besides that, again, it's a very good movie. It's very enjoyable. I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was very fun and just a good time, good action, good characters, good everything, really. It's 2 hours, I believe, same as the last movie in this series, but I like this movie a lot more than Godzilla because, we barely saw Godzilla, but this one's called Kong Skull Island. We actually get to see Kong in his own movie, which was pretty cool. And just everything he does, everything the characters go through, and finally getting home, and even having the one guy who was stuck on the island at the beginning of the movie. Beginning of the movie was really cool, by the way. Like the beginning, where like those two characters are on the plane and they crash down and they start like fighting each other. Then like Kong comes and like separates the two of them, and then he finally gets home to his family. That was a really cool moment. That was really cool. I like that. That was good. That was good. And just other fun and enjoyable things, and very good character moments and good action. If you're in the mood for that, you'll like this movie. And with that, I think I'm gonna end the video because there's not much to say besides this movie is a very big action-filled, big summer blockbuster movie, man. It's really enjoyable, really enjoyable. And I think that you would enjoy it because it's fun. I'd probably give it a 9.5. Again, people might say that's too high. I don't know. I think it's right because it's just so fun and so focused on this world of Kong. It's really cool. It's really cool. But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9.5. And with that, I will say peace, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.